Welcome, everybody, Tuesday Night Live. I am so glad you're here. Let me know where you're watching from. Let me know what's going on. We just wrapped up the 2024 Kentucky Public Land Turkey Camp here. We had a bunch of guys coming out. It was just a fantastic time. And now I'm going to wait on them to get on here. My light is acting crazy. So I'm going to go ahead and fix that if you don't mind. Um, and we'll see what we got going on. Let's see who's joining us. Josh will not be here tonight. Mike will not be here tonight. So you're stuck with me. So what that means, what that means is we're going to do a lot of talking. We're going to get the crowd involved. If you're here and you were at turkey camp or you're here and you went turkey hunting this weekend, let us know how it went. We're very excited to have you. So who is watching? Anthony Jones is here. Says, "Hey friends, Anthony, we appreciate you, brother. We got a good evening from the Facebook group, guys. I tell you what, it's Tuesday, but it feels like it should be much farther along in the week. Does anybody else feel like that? Someone asked if I talk a lot. Man, I can talk all night, brother. I can talk all night. So you just come with it. Bring it in the comments. Sorry, I'm trying to get my light fixed here." And I'm going to go. Jimmy Carroll's here. You know what? It's got a little like wavy thing on the screen. We're just going to deal with it. We ain't going to worry about it. We're just going to deal with it. Jimmy Carroll, how you doing, my friend? We missed you this weekend. Wish you would have been there. Had a blast at Turkey Camp, fellas. Sorry for not being on. We were doing. Guys, are you kidding me? Mike Collins, of all people, is on here commenting as a Facebook user. We talk about this every week, Mike. If it says Facebook user, make sure you're watching on the page. You're not watching in the group. And my very best, well, I ain't going to say best because Josh and John Allen, but my number two, my right-hand guy, every Tuesday night, always here, always reminding people. And guess what? He did it himself. Come on, Mike, get it together. Gary Kite is watching from Calera, Alabama. And so, listen, guys, here's what I want to know. I want you to be a good friend, be a good viewer. Share this on your page, please. Make sure you like it. Make sure you're commenting. Make sure you're engaging with us because that's how we have fun. I'm by myself. I don't want to talk for the next 56 minutes. I do, but I want to talk to you. So, Jimmy Carroll said, "I got home from work a little late, showered, fell asleep in recliner until 7 p.m. I get it, Jim. I do that about 3 or 4 times a week." Mike with the excuses clicked on the first live that popped up. Well, I'm glad it popped up. That's good. I'm glad you're seeing it. So Anthony's going to go share. Now, Anthony, you shouldn't have to leave to share. You should just have to click the little arrow, share it. But maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. So Anthony has shared. You like my bracelets, my daughter, maybe? You like that? Anthony has shared. He's back. Who else is sharing for me? Let me know if you shared it. If you shared it, just type the word shared. Last week, I want to try something. I want to try a record here. Last Tuesday, I was so happy with you guys, with our loyal followers who are here every night. Last Tuesday, I was so happy, and I'm going to tell you why. I just got to get there. I'm about to sneeze. If I sneeze, are you guys going to say bless you? Let's see here. Last Tuesday, we went live and we had 492 comments. All right. Last Tuesday, that had to be, other than the time we had 700 or 800 people watching at one time, which was insane. I can barely keep up with comments with 30 to 40 people watching at a time. But ever since we had 700 to 800 people watching at once, we've not had that many comments. 492 comments in an hour show. My goodness. I want to break that tonight. So that happens by when I ask questions, when I talk to you, you talk back. So the first thing I want to know is if you shared this post on your Facebook page, just type shared. Let's see who shared it here. I see that Anthony shared it and Gary shared it and Jim shared it. So I'm not going to, I would say my older guys shared it. They follow directions better. I don't know if I can throw Anthony in there. Stephen Goble shared it. Look at that. Stephen Goble, maybe watching from the old, Stephen, I think, got a promotion lately. He's kind of a boss now. So he has a little more leniency when he can comment. So I just appreciate you being here. My man, Billy Barnett. Did you guys see the picture? I had a guy at work today. He's like, hey, it looked like you guys had fun at turkey camp. I saw that you had a getting that guy's blind when it started storming. And I'm like, bro, that's not a blind. That is a van. That is a mobile turkey van. No seats. Got his cot in there. He's got his lights fixed. He's got a horn that when you push the horn on Billy's turkey van, it gobbles. His van gobbles. And so it is taking him all over the country, killing turkeys from Maine to Hawaii, right? So I was just happy that we had everyone, all 12 people in the van. We had, hey, just in that van alone, we had Kentuckians, Tennesseans, Missourians, Canadians. That's cool. Yeah. Billy said, I heard a gobble at camp around 3 a.m. Saturday morning. Did you hear it? I heard a lot of things. I heard people's trucks going off, their truck alarms going off. I heard Billy and Steve, the Canadian. Steve was great. I hope Steve is watching tonight. Billy, you need to give us an update on how Steve's doing with his turkey hunt. Billy and Steve took off early, so no one would take their spot. Let me tell you what happened to me. We'll get into Saturday, but Sunday, I knew if I went back to the spot that I was at on Saturday, where I had two gobblers behind me just hammering at 80 yards, I thought if I can get back there Sunday morning, then I can set up to where I know these gobblers are going to come to about 9 o'clock, and I'm going to kill one. I'm going to throw it up. I'm going to take a picture, throw it in my truck. I'm going back home. And I got there, and there was a truck there. And I'm pretty upset. See, I've hunted that spot twice. The first two times I hunted that spot, I saw with my eyes 3 gobblers. One within shooting range that I didn't shoot last year. 2 at about 8. Onyx said it was about 94 yards. I think it's a little closer than that. Probably about 80 to 85 yards. I saw those suckers up there gobbling on the hill. No way I could have gotten to them. I couldn't make the shot. It was too far, too thick. But in two sits on public land in that one spot, 3 gobblers with my own eyes. That's hard to do on public land. And I go back on Sunday. I know I'm going to close it. And somebody from Ohio was there. And I was so mad. Gordy, I don't know if you're on here. I didn't see you pop in. Gordy, if you're here, let me know. I was mad at one of your Ohio brothers. Mad at myself for not getting there sooner. Anthony says, hey, who won the contest you had for how many people would come? You had everyone guess last week. Anthony, that's a good question. And you know what? I've not gone back to look. I will have to go back. If you guessed last week and you remember your number, and I'm going to fact check you because I just got to go back last week. If you guessed last week and you remember your number, go ahead and type it in the comments so I can have that in my head. And I'm not going to tell you what it is yet. I'm not going to tell you what it is. Craig said, did you get the tick off your windshield? You know what? I saw 2 ticks. I saw 3. I saw one crawling up my leg on Saturday. Took that sucker and I squished it against, I think, my striker on my turkey call and killed it. And I saw 2 while I was in my truck. One climbing on the seat, took it, killed it. One on my windshield, got it, killed it. And so, yes, I took care of it. Josh said, almost ruined the morning. Oh, the Ohio, yeah. Here's the thing. I will never complain about someone being in my spot on public land. Doesn't mean I'm not upset about it. Doesn't mean that I liked it. But he had just as much right as I did out there. He beat me to it, so it was his spot for the day. Next year, I'll be in that same spot because I know it's a good one, and I'll just have to get there earlier. So, yes, here's what happened. He was there before us, and I told Josh, I said, well, let's go back up the road. There's no one there. Me and Mike bumped the turkey down there last year. Let's check it out. No gobbles, gave it a chance, said, nah, just not feeling it. So now it's 7:30-ish. way past daylight. We get in the truck, we drive. I said, I got another pin up the road where there's a small slither of public land. No one will probably be there because it's so small on the map. Let's go there. So we leave, we go there to the small piece of public land. I'm pulling in. I'm like, oh, this is great. There's no one here. We turn the curve. Daggone it. There's someone backed in right there. And I said, okay, let's just drive back toward camp. And I got a couple places to check. We drove back and found a spot. Walked probably 3/4 of a mile back in there on a pretty good access road. Got to a nice saddle where we thought would be good. I still think it was a great spot. We just kind of ran out of time. We had to leave. Then we go to eat, and Josh has his kayak in the back of his truck, and he backs into the place we ate at was beside of a movie theater, and Josh backs his truck all the way into one of the cases that has a movie poster in it and just destroys the case. So then he had a call, and he's going to have to pay for that. So what a day, right? Please explain the difference in hunting on public land and private land. Well, that's private land is privately owned by a citizen. You can only hunt there if you have permission, preferably written permission. Public land is owned by the state or the government is a better way of putting it, because Daniel Boone National Forest is a national forest. There's wildlife management areas that are owned or leased by the state where the public can hunt. So that's the difference. Either privately owned by a citizen or owned by the government. Gary said, I just went and looked and I actually said 17. Okay. Well, I'm not going to tell you what the number is until I can look. Let's see here. Thanks for Anthony for doing that. So let's see, 22, 28. Me and Mike had 6, but I typed it first. 6? You thought 6 people would be there? Way more. I think mine was 18. He already said 17. Opening morning, first time hunting for a nice Tom here in Graves County. Let's do that. Let's say if you're comfortable with the county that you hunted in, why don't you type the county that you hunted in and let us know where you hunted. If you don't want to type the county because you're a weirdo, just kidding, then type the state that you hunted in this past weekend. And if you didn't hunt, let us know. I didn't get to go out there. I'm not going to hunt this coming weekend. My daughters are here on Sunday. Not going to hunt when I have them. Saturday, I have to clean out my garage. It is an absolute mess. And I get 4 vouchers a year to take a mess to the dump. And I'm using it this Saturday to clean up my garage and take a mess to the dump. So, Tim Fanning, the places I hunted there was pretty nice. Wish I'd had more scouting time. Tim, we're just glad you came, brother. We are so glad that you were there. And you came out and hung out with us Saturday night. We had some good food, good people there. And, hey, we'll be doing it again next year. Let's see. That was our guess on how many birds were taken. Okay, how many birds were taken? 5 total. 5 total. So we had pictures of 4 opening day. We didn't get the 5th one in there. 5 turkeys total. I think I said there would be 5 on Saturday. Mark Lilly said there are no turkeys in Grant County. That's because the Lillies have killed them all. John Stepp, do you need a trailer? Jimmy, I really appreciate that. I can fit all this in the back of my truck. If not, my neighbor has a trailer that I can use. But you are the best, my friend. Josh said 5, so that means he does not win anything on this show. I think that's a good haul, too. Hey, you have 20 – I almost told. We had over 20 people there. We had 5 birds killed, and I think that's a heck of a opening weekend. Can you see my name? Can everyone see Chris's name? Type yes or no. Can you see Chris's name on the screen? Yes or no? Let him know. Let me know if you can see it. This thing's been acting weird tonight anyway. You're the only turkey. Mark Lilly Scott said you're the only turkey in Grant County. Yes. Chris, looks like they can see your name. I think the best thing about Turkey Camp is we had so many first timers there. Chris was a first timer. Gosh, really everyone except for me, Caleb, Bub, Colton, and Mike were first timers at the turkey camp. Mike says, it is when most of the guys don't know where to go in a place they've never been. Oh, he's saying 5 birds killed is a great number when most of the guys don't even know where to go, and it's a place they've never been. That's very true. That's very true. Also, there were a lot of hunters there this year. Like we saw right across from us in our camp was 2 guys from New York. There were guys there from Ohio. There were guys there from Michigan. Several guys. And it was packed. There were a lot of trucks this year. Last year, there weren't nearly as many. But I'm for that. I'm all for it. Let's see. Christian. No. Steve said, did you catch any catfish? We fished for about an hour is all. Didn't need to catch any because my good friend and first time Eastern Outdoors camper, Josh Wilson, who was fantastic. Josh, I can't tell you how many people told me how much they enjoyed you. Hold on just a second. Hurley Combs, I am live on Facebook right now, my friend.
Oh, are you?
Yeah, they can hear you through the mic. How many? Can you guys hear Hurley on the phone right now? You didn't know this is a call-in show. Hurley, how many turkeys did you guys kill this weekend?
We killed five, I think, maybe 6.
5 or 6. That's how many we killed, yeah. But you probably had a lot less people than we had. We had over 20.
Yeah, we had, I think, 3 hunters, one from Mississippi and a couple from Ohio. But, yeah, they had a great hunt.
Awesome. Hey, listen, either get on Facebook and join us, or I'll call you after. How's that sound?
Okay. Yeah, I just got off the lake and I'm cleaning up. So.
All right, man. I'll call you later. Bye.
I see you.
I had to take the call. You never know what he's going to say. So anyway, he killed 5. I thought he told me he killed 7, but he probably don't remember. Let's see here. We fished for about an hour. The lake was so flooded that the places where you usually stand and fish had water in them. But Josh Wilson brought catfish and Stephen Goebel cooked it up. And so we had catfish anyway. And we had deer and we had turkey and then just your regular like hamburgers, hot dog stuff. But it was great. Fantastic. Let's see here. Mike said New Yorkers, New Jersey, Michigan, Missouri, Indiana, Ohio, Canada, Arkansas, Tennessee were the hunters' license plate we saw. So some of them were with us, some of them weren't. Yeah. Joe, the reason Mike is not on the show is because it's his son's birthday. They had baseball practice. Now they have cake and ice cream. If you ever seen Wyatt, his son Wyatt I describe him as a bowling ball, short, stocky, would run through a wall. I watched him play basketball for about 15 seconds one day, and he was on the floor twice in 15 seconds. So you're not going to get between Wyatt, his birthday, and cake and ice cream. So Mike's setting out tonight. But hey, can we all wish Wyatt happy birthday in the comments? And Mike can show him. That'd be cool. He'll like that. Let's see. Mike Collins and I got very close. Unfortunate events took place. Horses was one of the events. So we'll let Mike tell it next week. Josh couldn't be on here either. But we were kind of worried about Josh and Mike. We were about to send a search party out because they didn't come back till 5 o'clock in the afternoon. And they didn't have good cell service, so we didn't hear from them. Look at all these birthday wishes, Mike. You got to show Wyatt all the birthday wishes. Wyatt turned 7 today. 7. I bet he's the strongest 7-year-old in Kentucky. The guy's just built like a brick house, just strong. Not like his dad, of course. Just kidding. But, yeah, so Josh and Mike had just to keep it very short, a turkey come in to 8 to 10 yards that they didn't see, and obviously that one spooked. And then they had another turkey come in that they saw but didn't get a shot on. And then they had one they thought was gobbling and coming toward them when 3 horses, something you got to deal with on public land, 3 people riding horses came right through. And I think Josh said one of them said, hey, look, there's some turkey hunters. So, that will ruin your hunt quickly. That will ruin your hunt quickly. So, hey, I don't think I've asked this. How many of you have killed a turkey this weekend? How many of you killed a turkey this weekend? It was, I know Caleb Hatmaker. He's not on here, I don't think. Killed one. Bub, who also I don't think is on here, and his son Colton killed one. And Caleb's buddy Cody from Arkansas killed one. That was at camp. Who was not at camp that killed one? Casey Sparks came to camp on Saturday. He said he killed one yesterday evening. Rick said, I didn't get to hunt, was doing yard work all weekend. That'll be my weekend next weekend, Rick. So I feel you, brother. Simon Willett tagged out in Florida. Billy was talking Friday night about how difficult it is to tag out in Florida. So fist bump to you, my friend. Joe was on birds all day, he said. Oh, they was on birds. Yes, they were on birds. Josh and Mike were all day, yeah. And Joe, is thanks to you for giving them that spot. Mark Lilly killed 2 reds in the pen. Okay. I don't know what he's talking about there. This person says, our turkey season starts next Wednesday here in Indiana, and we are going to hammer several. Stay tuned. Well, hey, send us the photos. We'll share them next week. The week after, because it's Wednesday. Let's see. Anthony Jones has a cool video of a deer walking through and a hen that was curious. Cole Warden says, first public land scout before New York opener, found 20 toms and 4 jakes. Lots of good picks. That sounds like a winner right there. Mike said they rode horses. So Mike and Josh, Mike talking about the horses ruining their hunt. They rode horses past my decoy, and one guy said, watch out for that decoy. Their heads were on a swivel after that, was looking everywhere for hunters. Camo was good. I waved, and he apologized. So, yeah, the apology's great. Sorry for ruining your hunt. Caleb tagged at Noah Sunday evening. He killed a bearded hen. Yeah, I saw that. How many birds can you take in Florida? I think 2, Chris. Simon, can you confirm that? What is the bag limit in Florida? Can I block Scott Butler? Mark, you don't know how many times I've considered it, but I just keep giving him another chance. You know, poor fella. Just give him another chance. He said he loves you, though. He has 2 birds in Florida. Great. Let's see here. What we got. Try to see who killed one. Tim said we had one come in 18 yards too. It circled us and busted us. Let's see. Y'all gonna have to keep this conversation going now. I can't talk to myself. Mike said Josh and I lowered one another down off rock ledges to get where turkeys were gobbling. Isn't that sweet? Isn't that sweet? Can't you just imagine these 2 hunters out there in the wild lowering each other down off rock ledges, no doubt holding hands tightly, pushing each other up. It's just a sweet picture. Mike, I'm glad you and Josh bonded while you were out there. I'm sure it was worth it. Teamwork. Yeah, there you go. Teamwork. Let's see. Did the horseback riders come on them in Morgan County? I don't know if it's Morgan County or not. It's wherever you sent them. So there. Josh Wilson said he had a couple that sounded like they were on their way, but they got intercepted by other hunters. Yeah. You know what ruins turkey hunts is hunters and hens. Those 2 really will ruin your turkey hunt in a hurry. So I got a question. So here in Kentucky, April 13th, right? April 13th was opening day. Do you guys think that is a good opening day? Do you think it's too early? Do you think it's too late? I know a lot of people want to have it a week earlier, right? But, you know, I'll be honest. I've not been turkey hunting long. You guys know that. This is like my 4th year hunting, maybe. But I have hunted from Pike County all the way through Eastern Kentucky, Central Kentucky, and all the way west of as far as Muhlenberg County. So that's most of the state as far as regionally goes. And I've never been on a turkey hunt where there wasn't an opportunity to hear a gobble and go after a bird. So I guess the question is not only do you think Kentucky's season should be leave it where it's at? Let's do that. Option A, leave it where it's at. Option B, move it back a week earlier. Option C, move it up a week later. What do you guys think? A, keep it where it's at. B, earlier. C, later. What do you guys think? You got to post. You got to comment. We already have Scott says a week earlier, and Chris says a week earlier. What do you guys think? Earlier? B, 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 A. Mike says leave it where it's at. Earlier, Rick says, okay, I got you. Leave it where it's at, says Steve, Gary, Josh. Jonathan says move it up a week. Or is that down a week? Move it later in the season. Probably, he says. He could be convinced otherwise. Facebook user says A. I'm going to vote with Mike. I'm going to say leave it where it's at. It's been working. We don't want to be like other states. You know, I'll say this. We had a guy from Arkansas at camp. He was the first guy to kill a turkey. And he, I think he killed that turkey by 7:30, maybe 7:15. And I said, it's a lot easier to kill turkeys in Kentucky than Arkansas. And he was like, oh, gosh, not even close. We don't want to be like that. Now, if moving it earlier would cause something like that, I'm against it. If moving it later would cause us to kill less, I'm also against it because I believe in securing and preserving the resource of turkeys so that we don't run out, so that we don't become like other states. But I also just as strongly believe in hunter opportunity and hunter satisfaction and taking care of the folks who are out there practicing conservation. So maybe we should just leave it where it's at. I don't know. I'm not smart enough to say that. That's just my guess. Jonathan said because youth season is the week before. Yeah, I think that was only this week. That's a good point, Jonathan. I think that was only this year because I feel like the last 2 or 3 years, youth season has been 2 weeks before. And some of you that have hunted a lot longer than I have can speak to that. But I'm pretty sure when I took my daughter, I took her, and then 2 weeks later, I was able to go. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's always the week before. Here's a good question. What is a better turkey hunting tent, colder or warmer? I'll tell you this, Craig. I'll let other people answer this question. I'm just going to say that what is not favorable is sleeping in a tent when it's in the 30s and your buddy in the tent, Mike Collins, has a heater that he won't even turn on. Folks, I froze to death for 2 nights in a row while sleeping beside a heater because my good friend who I love, Michael, he wouldn't turn it on. And then he did turn it on the second night and it ran out of propane. Next year, I'm bringing an electric heater. All right, Mike, and I'm going to turn that sucker on. And if the tent burns down, we'll go to plan B. So what do you guys think? What's a better turkey hunting temp, colder or warmer? Is there a better temp? I don't know. Josh said he's just mad because there ain't no way we could have helped John down those cliffs. I've made it myself, brother. I've made it myself. I like that Tennessee did the same. Okay, hunting turkey in the heat is hard. Not only are you miserable, they are too. They don't want to move. Mike says we do not want to move the season earlier. Earlier you go, the more we disrupt breeding, nesting, and harvesting gobblers when they are breeding. There you go. That clears it up for me, Mike. I'm with you. Keep it the same. Cody Red. Yes, that's correct. Keep it where it's at. Many years ago, our youth weekend was the last 2 days of the season. Wow, that seems like it'd be more difficult. Scott says 65 and drizzling rain on a field edge is the weather he prefers. I'm going to go with Scott on this. I will understand the heat. Let's see. I will withstand the heat if it means a turkey are more opportunity to breed. Mark says, we have some good answers here. I'm going to read them all. This week was odd. There's usually a week between youth season is always the first weekend, and adult season opens the Saturday close to the 15th. So, yes, so there's usually a 2-week period there. I understand it might interrupt the breeding season, but that's why they bring it in. Then it's breeding season, and if not, you probably would not be able to kill one, right? So it is breeding season. If it wasn't, you're right, WO, we wouldn't be able to kill one. Absolutely. 45 to 65 degrees and sunny, my favorite temps. Jim says, John, we have a guy that works with us. Jansen Sola is turkey hunting for the first time, and to top it off, he is going to hunt public land. Hey, if you can learn how to hunt on public land, then private, it makes private a lot easier. You should have used the tank I brought you guys. Never go cold. Well, we use that tank, Joe. We use that tank for frying many pounds of catfish and turkey breasts. So we sure appreciate it. Dwayne says, I like the cooler weather for turkey. So, yeah, I think I don't want to freeze while I'm out there hunting. The thing about this weekend is it started, both mornings started a little cool. So I had on, pants, my leafy suit. I had a hoodie on under it. If you hunted through the afternoon, you're probably taking the hoodie off, wearing a T-shirt under your leafy suit, and being a little cooler. So I think that was Bub says, daggone, I'm late. He sure is. Look at that profile picture of Bub. Now, that is pretty cool. Bub and his son both killed turkeys this weekend. And Bub said, no doubt, and Bub's done a lot of hunting. I was about to make a joke, Bub, but I'm not going to. But he said, no doubt, his best day in the woods, bar none, because him and his son both killed turkeys. Isn't that cool? Anthony says, Bub's better late than never. Congrats to you and your boy this weekend. Yeah, it's really cool. Colton's 13. He's been to 2 turkey camps, and I'm pretty sure he's going to be excited to come to the other one. And, he's with a bunch of great guys. Gary gave him some turkey calls, and people were cutting up with him. So it's a great environment with a bunch of great guys where a 13-year-old, he might hear some words that he probably is not allowed to say. But he's with a bunch of good dudes and is learning a lot just from being around them. Craig says, serious question, how do you get all the buckshot out of a turkey strong earth magnet? Caleb is the one who what am I trying to say? I was reading comments. I forgot. Oh, cleaning the birds. Yeah, Caleb is the one who cleaned the birds. Like Mike says, Craig, aim for the neck and head, and you'll have very little in the meat. Yeah, turkey's very thick. So, like for instance, we were laughing at Caleb last year. He shot a turkey maybe in the chest or in the side, and it knocked the turkey down, and the turkey kept going. That's why he aimed for the neck and the head. Just takes one. Bub says we'll never miss one. They'll never miss a turkey camp. We got to get you to deer camp. Let's talk about that for a second. So we're talking today. I think we're going to have our deer camp. Now, last year we had, 15, 17, 18 people show up at deer camp. And it's a lot of fun. We had it in October. This year we're going to have it October. It's the first weekend in October. So, Bub, we've changed that. I don't know if you saw the group text. But right here, real quick. Anybody got a calendar? What's the first weekend of October? Let's see. So we're going to have deer camp, Peabody WMA, 44,000 acres. A short 30-minute drive gets you to tens of thousands of more acres, and we're doing it public land. We're going to be giving things away. Deer camp, we give away tons and tons of stuff. It's going to be October 4th through the 6th. 4th, 5th, and 6th. I will probably show up Thursday night, hunt Friday, hunt Saturday, hunt Sunday morning, come back home. And we have pins everywhere. This will be our 3rd deer camp. It really is a wonderful time, so you need to try to come out. I am not going to do a sign-up anymore. I'm not going to publicize it. I'm just going to reach out to folks who I think may want to come or who I want to come and say, hey, we're having deer camp October 4th, 5th, and 6th. Now, if you're on this show, if you're a regular on this show, you're going to hear me talk about it a lot. and you're invited, right? So you just plan on October 4th, 5th, 6th, Peabody, WMA, Muhlenberg County, Kentucky, Graham, Kentucky, if you want to be very specific. I promise you, you will have a wonderful time. I mean, fantastic time. Turkey camp was great. Deer camp is just a little better because we're all right there together. Turkey camp, we all had our own individual sites. Deer camp, we're just all right there together. We're under this big, they've been calling it a pavilion. I don't know why they're calling it that. We're in this big shelter. We have our own places to eat and sleep and cook and use the bathroom. It's wonderful. And we all disperse of the mornings and we go hunt. And listen, last year we killed 3 deer there. We caught a lot of flack because they were small deer. We don't care. We might kill 10 small deer this year. We're there to have a good time and to take care of all these deer running around out there. There's way too many. So Joe says, I know for a fact Turkey Camp is going to grow 2 new campers next year. Joe, you come on, brother. We're ready for you. Bub says that is actually better. I like hunting Ohio the weekend you did have. I was torn. So the weekend we did have was that second weekend, the 11th through 13th, which is youth weekend. And then I said, well, let's have it the next weekend, which is muzzleloader weekend, but also Mike's like anniversary and his wife's turning 40. Maybe you shouldn't say that. I don't know. It's just a number. And so we said, okay, let's just move it back to the first weekend in October. It'll be good. No one will be there. We're not the only hunters that are going to be at Peabody the first weekend of October. You'll have a few scragglers. That's just going to be us. If we would have had it during muzzleloader weekend, I'd say we'd run into quite a few. Not that first weekend in October. We're going to have 44,000 acres pretty much to ourselves. So it's going to be fun. Steve says, sounds super fun. Wish I could have gone last year. Hope to make it this year. Steve, you're always invited, and we'll be very happy and excited to have you. Josh says that may have to be a day off work. I'm taking a day off work. I'll be there Thursday. I'll leave Lexington at 5-ish on that Thursday. I will drive 3 hours to Peabody, and I will sleep, and I'll wake up Friday morning and hunt, and hopefully come back to a lot of you there. Yes, there is a big pole barn there where the owner likes to play cards and drink and have a good time. So sometimes they're playing music late at night. It's fun. Brandon says, thanks for the invite to camp. It was good to meet you guys. We killed one opening day and one on Sunday. Heck yeah, man. That's you can't beat that right there. Mike Collins says, early October is the best time because it won't be velvet season and no gun season and no rut. Fresh acorns on the ground, least amount of hunting pressure, perfect time to go. October's tricky weather-wise. Last year we went first week of October. I think it was like the 7th through the 9th. Crazy cold. Got down in the 20s at night. First year we went in September. Crazy hot. 95 degrees. I'd rather be cold than hot. Can't wait for Fort Knox. Josh, here's my plan. We're not trying to jump ahead to deer season, but it is deer season, right? It is the number one hunted animal in North America. It's deer season, so we're always going to talk about it. Here's my plan, Josh. Now, Dwayne Best is going to make fun of me probably, but my goal is to go with my good buddy, Hurley Combs. And look, I'm not trying to fool anyone here. You know what he's going to do? He's going to feed those deer corn from August 1st to the first weekend of hunting season. And he's going to put me in a blind, and there's going to be a deer come into that corn, and I plan to shoot it on opening day. And if that bothers you, that's okay. That's okay. I don't care. It's your right to be bothered. But that's what I'm planning to do. If he invites me, he will. Opening day. And I'm hoping it's a buck. And I'm not going to be choosy. It might be a 5-pointer. It might be a 12-pointer. That's what I'm going to do opening day. And then, Josh, I'm going to get that Kentucky buck out of the way. And my plan is outside of deer camp, I'm going to focus all the other weekends that I can hunt on Fort Knox. The 2 biggest deer I've ever seen on foot in real life, in my life, were at Fort Knox. And one of them was a giant. And I only hunted there for 3 days last year, maybe 5 days. And it was great. So that is my plan. Let's see here. Can I get my tent under it? No tents. You can put a cot out there, but you can't put a tent. It's going to take up too much space. Not even you, Bub. I'm not even going to let you do that. Peabody Coal Mines, yes, it was at one time owned by Peabody Coal Mines, just like good old my favorite singer of all time, John Prine, says. Mr. Peabody's coal train hauled all that land away, and now it has made for excellent hunting grounds, 44,000 acres of hunting, and that's one of our favorite places to go. Let's see. Listen, no, Mike. Potentially, yes, sir. No, sir. We're not putting a tent under there. Here's what we do. If you want to sleep under it, you can bring a tent, and you can line it up down there with Dwayne's tent he always has, or you can line it up down there with Tim had a tent down there last year. I don't remember who else. PK and Frankie had a tent down there last year. You line guys, it's a whole campground. It has water, it has electricity, it has hookups, whole campground. You can put your tent anywhere. It's probably 5 acres, maybe 8 acres of land. If you want to sleep under the shelter, that's where I'm going to sleep. Some people hang their hammocks on the shelter, or hang their hammocks in a tree. Some people put a cot down. Some people just put a sleeping bag down. That's fine too. But you can't put a tent under the shelter, Bub. Not allowing it. But you can put it down there. Chris, there's so much room for tents. Like we could probably fit 500 tents out there. So you're good. Does anyone bring an RV? We had one guy bring a camper one year and hook up, but that's been it. Most people just bring tents. Because all you do is sleep in them. Like, we hang out the rest of the time. Some people sleep on an air mattress and get the flu and strep throat. That was Steven. Steven has been to every camp we've had except one. That was last year's turkey camp. And deer camp, he got sick. Let's see. We had Stephen Goebel, and now we have Goebel Ratliff. That's pretty cool. Goebel Ratliff says, anyone bring a camper? One person has brought a camper. There are full hookups for a camper if you want to do that. Or you can bring a tent and hang out. Or you can bring a hammock and swing. If you want to get a deer, you need to sleep in your stand. You could do that too if you want to. Probably uncomfortable. May get cold or hot. But there you go. Dwayne says, it doesn't bother me at all. It's all good and fun mess with. Hey, Dwayne, listen. It don't bother me a bit. You guys should see. If you follow this page, now I started this new job, I've not been posting a whole lot to this page, Eastern Outdoors. I'm going to get back to that, posting stories and photos and videos and stuff. I'm not doing a lot. But you can go back through the last 4 years, and you can see where Dwayne, we've been called horrible things on the page. But never like these Arkansas fans that are on my personal Facebook page or the Duke fans last week. I mean, those people are relentless. They're pretty bad. So, but it's all good. I can handle it. It's fun. Yes, sir, you can. So anyway, we had turkey camp. Deer camp will be coming up in October. We'd love to have you. Do you think we're beating our record tonight of 490 comments? I just don't feel like we will. Steven says, I'll say if you have never been to camp, you are missing out some of the best guys you will meet. That's true. A lot of good guys. So let's see what we got going on here. All right, let's go ahead and tell you. We had at turkey camp, we ended up having 23 people. 23 people. Now, there was at no time 23 people together at the same time. But overall, from beginning to end, we had 23 people. Some people stayed 2 nights. Some people stayed 1 night. A couple folks just showed up and hung out with us. We counted them. But we had 23 people. So go back and check. Can someone go back and check and see who guessed 23? Maybe no one guessed 23. Now, what will we do if no one guessed 23? I don't know. Craig is yelling at us. Craig, why are you yelling? What kind of guns does everyone use? Well, Craig, in October for deer camp, we use our bows. So you can use a compound bow, which is a vertical bow, or you can use a crossbow, which is a horizontal bow. Shoots like a gun. Either one are acceptable during deer camp. In turkey camp, mostly 12 gauges. Some people use a 20 gauge, and you can also use a 410. He said, sorry for the caps. I know, Craig, I was just poking at you. Bub says that camp is like nothing you'll experience. People from all over the state and other states, just good folks enjoying the campfire. Bub, I would think you might like a deer camp even more, honestly. I really do think that. So let's see. No one's back with who won. What did we say we're giving away? Anybody remember? I got Onyx cards. I've got well, Onyx cards are the best. I can just shoot you a picture because I will never get to the post office. So who is I'm just waiting on people to get back to see who won. Without Mike and Josh here, you guys, if you guys don't keep me talking, your hat, I'm not giving away, Chris, that's funny. I will not give away my hat. This is, let me bring it in close here. You see that? I talked to my contact at, oh, look, I'm up here in the camera like Josh does on Thursdays. I talked to my contact at Onyx, and I said, hey, bro, I've got 20-some people coming to turkey camp. Can you send me Onyx memberships? He said yes, and he sent me this turkey hat, and I'm so excited because it's an incredible hat. Look at that feather, that turkey feather, Onyx hunt on there. Man, oh man. Steve doesn't have a shotgun. He'd use his compound. Steve, that's really cool. You can kill turkey with a compound. Really cool. Joe said it went from 3 or 4 last year to 23 this year. Yeah, Joe, we had 5 last year. It was me, Mike, Caleb, Bub, Colton. We had 23? Nope. Hold on. 23 this year. And those 23 were all fantastic. And next year, I think we can get to 30. Now, I think our most at deer camp, I want to say it was 17. I'm not real sure. But I think we can break 30 at deer camp this year. And we're going to pump it. Something else. Let me ask you, what do you guys, we love, the best thing about Eastern Outdoors is meeting new folks, getting people together in the outdoors, hunting, fishing, camps, everything. What ideas do you guys have that we could do to continue building the community? Also, we want to build this show. We have 26 people watching most of the show. We had 35 to 40. I want 50, 75, 100 people watching every Tuesday. I want, we'll have 2,000 to 3,000 views a week. I want 10,000 to 20,000 views a week. So we want to build the community. We want to get more people involved. We want to be a voice for just the average hunter and fisherman. Someplace, we want it to be a place where you can come relax and not deal with the BS of everything else going around. So what do you guys think? I think in August, we're probably going to have another squirrel hunting tournament. We'll have in October the deer camp. What do you guys have in mind? Let's see. Bub says, so I measured my turkey beard at home and it was 11 inches all day. That turkey was definitely better than I thought. I thought your turkey was the biggest at camp. I think somebody's scale was off. Well said, Bub. What did Bub say? Anything good? Oh, I already read it. Craig says he'll take the Onyx card. Pretty sure Dwayne is taking a turkey with a bow. Dwayne's taking everything. Is Onyx better than Hunt Stand? Josh, I've never used Hunt Stand, but I love Onyx, so I'm just going to say yes. And if you win, it's free. So there you go. Bub, shout out to Colton for the Primos Hot Box. Thank you. Oh, yeah. So Mike rants and raves about this Primos Hot Box call that he has. It's a small, compact box call. And I will tell you, it really is good. I mean, I've heard it ring loudly through the hills of Eastern Kentucky and just get those gobbles to come out of those hollers. I've heard it with my own ears. It works. It's loud. And knowing that, and knowing that Mike has 2 sons, Colton, Bub's son, gave Mike a second Primos hot box to let his sons use. So that was really cool. Mike, you totally could have wrapped it and given it to Wyatt for his birthday tonight. Man, that's a free gift. Let's see, John, I just looked at the comments. Could not find anyone with 23. Oh, my gosh. I think I said 23. I think I win. Picture or it doesn't count. See, Chris, I don't remember what I don't know what you're talking about, Chris. I'm sorry. How do you send stars? You know what, Craig? I don't know. There should just be a little button down there you can send stars on there. But I don't see that on my end because I'm not actually on Facebook. I'm on StreamYard. But somebody can probably help you figure that out. Let's see. There was a big turkey Bub killed. I like them both, but I believe Onyx is better. There you go. You heard it from the pro here. Can you shoot a squirrel that attacks your bird feeders? Yes. If your squirrels are causing problems and they're a nuisance, I would call Fish and Wildlife first. Ask them. Maybe you have to get a special tag for them destroying your property. But if squirrels are destroying your property, you can trap them. You can kill them. You can save your property from harm. So I would just double check with Fish and Wildlife on what is exactly proper there. How often do you need to put chalk on a box call? Who wants to answer that for Lee and Edwin Rambo? How often do you chalk your box call? Let's see if we can get a number of answers there. How often do you guys do that? What about a fishing camp? Man, I love to fish. You know what? I have told myself that this Saturday I'm going to clean out my garage, make sure my yard is mowed and everything is fine. I need to, you know what? I got a stupid raccoon that's trying to get in my soffit back here next to my bedroom. I ran it off once 2 nights ago, middle of the night. I went out there, I heard it. I ran it off. Hasn't been there since, but he's trying to get in. So that's another thing I got to do is make sure that soffit's secure. If you have any tips about keeping critters out, because I have trees that overhang, outside of cutting the trees down, I got to keep these critters from trying to get in my house. It's squirrels and it's raccoons. I've already shot a squirrel to get it out of there. Again, Craig, I just shot it because it was trying to get in my house. Sorry if that's illegal. I don't think it is, though. If it is, sorry. Write me a ticket. But that stupid raccoon, I'm going to trap it, and it's going to be in trouble. But a fishing camp. Here's what I said. Sorry, I got off track. I've told myself this. I'm going to clean up my garage, work in the yard, secure my soffit this weekend, and then I'm going to reward myself by going down here to Elkhorn Creek and catching dozens of smallmouth bass. That's what I'm going to do. I can't wait. So fishing camp is everything I would ever want to do. I love to fish. If I'm out there catching 3 or 4 pound largemouth, 2 or 3 pound smallmouth, or bigger, just as enjoyable as deer hunting. I started as an outdoorsman. I started as a bass fisherman. I became a deer hunter a few years ago, and I love it. I prefer it over everything else. But I can get behind a fishing camp. I just don't know how it's going to work. Like, are we all going to meet with boats? Are we all going to meet with kayaks? Are we all going to go wading? Are we going to go camp around a pond? Like, what do you think? Let me know your thoughts. We're up for anything. Honestly, we are up for anything as long as people will come out and people will support it. And here's the secret, guys. I have all kinds of folks that want to give. They want to give their products, but they're not going to give their products to no one. So the more people we can get, the more publicity that it gets, the better photos and videos. I didn't do a good job taking photos and videos this weekend because I was having a blast. But the better we can do that, the more people will give to you for free. And so that's what we got to get to. Let's see. We also had some first-time hunters at Turkey Camp. We had probably 3 or 4 first-time hunters. Comments about his turkey beard. It just say send 200 stars on the bottom right. Yeah, so on the bottom right, Craig. I put on after every hunt, I use my box call. So he chalks his box call after every hunt. Mike says put some on maybe every other hunt or when it sounds like it needs. I need to tune it up just a bit. Put chicken wire outside your faucet. I did that and it worked. I thought about that too, especially as a temporary fix. Gary chalks his box call after every hunt. Josh says, how about that massive largemouth I caught on Cave Run? Yes, it was huge if you consider a largemouth being equal size to the Cinco. That's huge. The bait that Josh caught that largemouth on was the same size as the fish he caught, which kudos to the fish for going after a meal. You know, big eyes on that fish. Shout out to Josh for catching the only fish at camp. Yep. Morgan. Oh, Bub. Morgan Hensley is here. And Morgan and I had a great phone call during camp. Morgan is now Bub would call her his girlfriend. Officially, she is his fiance. Don't know why he shies away from that. Can't figure it out. But Morgan and I had a great talk. She wanted to confirm that Bub was actually at camp and not running the roads. You know, Bub has a history. So just joking. Let's see. Steve Simpson says, no ideas, but I really enjoy the format of the live streams. Keep it up. Steve, as long as you're here watching, brother, we're going to keep doing it. Tell your friends, tell your family, you know, if they like that kind of stuff. Mike said, what's weird is I can sit for days to wait on a turkey. God, I can't. I cannot. No way. But I get super impatient and annoyed when I'm not catching fish. Still enjoy fishing, but not even close as much as hunting. Kind of weird. I get it. It's easier to be out in the woods waiting on an animal to come in than standing on a boat or sitting in a kayak. Now, I bet, Mike, you would be less impatient if you were standing in the water. I love to wade fish, and I bet, Mike, you would enjoy it, and you would be more patient if you were actually in the water. It just adds a layer to it. But Mike, if you will come fish with me, if you will come up here and get in this stream, brother, I can assure you fish after fish after fish. They're not going to be monsters, Mike, but you are going to have fun. So you just need to do it. You just need to make time to come down here with me. Greg says, do you fish like you hunt? Come home empty-handed. Greg, that was not very nice. I'm just going to say it. That was not very nice, Greg. But no, I fill the boat or the kayak with fish. And that'll be enough of that, Greg. I will not tolerate the disrespect. WO says, I'm in for fishing camp with boats. I'm in it with boats too. Not everybody has a boat. So that's hard. Wade fishing, New River Gorge. Okay. When I had my boat docks, 1990s, we had 2 tournaments and had 200 boats, 400 fishermen each tournament. You know, we thought about putting on fishing tournaments, but the liability and the insurance is crazy. So we've shied away from that. We need to talk about food plots one Tuesday night. Josh, we try to talk about some management. Oh, man, I'm supposed to talk to the guys at not Hemp Mills, Antler Builder tonight too, and I forgot to call them. Josh, you're right. We do need to talk about that. Maybe have a guest on, maybe do some posts about it, and we'll get on that. Josh says that the bass he caught was bigger than any fish I have caught this year. That's true. That's true. But I'll break that this Saturday. Go to one of the state parks on a lake. My business partner was number 3 at bass. Patience is something I've developed as I've gotten older. He's still working on it, though. The Lord's still working on him, folks. He is still cleaning him up. Whether I see deer, turkey, or catch fish, I just enjoy the sounds and God's creation. Looky there. Bless his heart. Mike, I'd probably go with me. Sure. Hey, you guys go so you guys can handle each other some more. Enjoy it. Maybe you can put each other's baits on. Let's see. Rick Crossley says, Lake Cumberland, Wolf Creek Dam, fish, the river, push the creek and the fish, the lake, great place for fish camp. If we were going to have a fishing camp, Lake Cumberland's probably the place to go. Probably the place to go. Going to New River Gorge in June, great fishing. What is... Okay, so I get Red River Gorge. I don't even know what New River Gorge is. You guys tell me. Mike says, hey, consider planting some wildflower fields this spring and summer. So who asked? Josh Teeter. Here you go. Consider planting some wildflower fields this spring and summer. Edge, feather around the wildflower field, and plant cover. My gosh, I should have brought some water in here. Doing this by yourself is exhausting. Bub says, didn't they spend enough time together Saturday? They missed dinner. So, yeah, Mike and Josh, Bub, it's getting weird. I don't know. Getting kind of weird. What about Del Hollow? They got Whoppers Del Hollow. Best smallmouth fishery we have in Kentucky. Also split that since you know what I was talking the other day, I think Thursday night show, where no one comes to watch. Our two best lakes in Kentucky, probably Kentucky Lake and probably Del Hollow, and we share them with Tennessee. Doesn't that just I don't like it. Let's see. New River Gorge is in. Oh, New River. Yeah, New River. Yeah, I know what the New River is. I never heard Gorge on the end. The New River is amazing. Here's the thing about the New River, though. Like if you have a kayak, it has some major rapids, like class 3 rapids. I ain't about that. I'm not taking my 13.5-foot kayak through class 3 rapids. So I have to find, and I've talked to some folks about this, I'd have to find a place where we don't get in that heavy water. But I actually know people who go to New River and they camp there and they fish there. That's a fantastic idea. Let's see, guys, if we can get that together. Let's see how many people. I know Josh will be down. It's a heck of a drive. Especially if you live out in Western Kentucky, it's a heck of a drive. But I think we could really have a great fishing camp. We could slay the smallmouth if we did that there. Great idea, Stephen. Great idea, Gary. New River, did we not take a trip there? We did, Josh. We didn't go to like we were not in like the good New River. We were in North Carolina where it's not as good. We need to be out in Virginia, West Virginia. New River is dangerous. That's what I've heard. Lake Barkley. Yeah, Lake when I said Kentucky Lake, I meant and Barkley. I just put them together right there. So let's see. Josh says, I'd say Cumberland, great smallmouth fish, and I've caught some good largemouth there, and it's central to everyone. I like that idea. Josh, last time we were at Cumberland is when we golfed with our dad. It makes me sad. He's dead. That's why. If you're wondering, like, why does that make you sad? He passed away. Thanks for bringing it up. But anyway, Josh fished before we golfed, and I fished after, and that's the last time I fished Cumberland. It was so flooded that the fish I caught was in the parking lot. So I was in my kayak, and it was just flooded, and I said, screw this. I'm going back to my truck. I'm going home. And I cast a spinner bait in the parking lot and caught a fish. So that's the last fish I caught on Cumberland. Pretty cool. Tributaries. I don't know, Josh. I'd have to look that up. Let's see. Bub Taggart. I just couldn't come out of the woods, Bub. Too many gobblers were hanging out in the area, and I was enjoying my private time with Josh too much. Okay, Mike. You said it. All right, fellas. Listen, it is 10:05. I got some stuff I need to get done, and I need to get a drink of water. My gosh, my lips are dry. And but I appreciate you. I appreciate all 23 of you, 22, I guess, because I don't include me, all 22 people who came out to turkey camp. I cannot thank you enough. It was a wonderful time, and I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. Everyone that shows up every Tuesday night to watch this show, man, it means the world. It just means the world because, I mean, I talked to Gary, and Gary he works on the road. And Gary said, hey, the guys I work with go out to eat, but they know if it's Tuesday, I'm taking my food back to the hotel so I can watch the show. Gosh, Gary, that means everything to me. So thank you guys for showing up every Tuesday. Thank you guys for being loyal. And look, we're going to keep on doing the show, keep on putting on events, and hopefully every last one of you, we can get together at some point, whether it's a turkey camp, deer camp, fishing camp, squirrel hunting tournament, or just hanging out. That's what we're here for. So thank you guys. We appreciate you. And we'll see you next Tuesday, 9 o'clock. Be here, 9 o'clock Eastern. Have a good week.